Have you ever asked yourself, what does Islam actually say about cats and dogs? Are cats really pure? Are dogs really haram? Or is there more to the story? Let's break this down together, casually, clearly, and straight from the teachings of Islam. You might be surprised by how deep and merciful these teachings really are. In Islam, animals are not just living creatures. They are creations of Allah with rights, emotions, and purpose. They're not to be abused, hurt, or ignored. In fact, the Prophet Muhammad said, "Whoever is kind to the creatures of God, he is kind to himself." This shows how Islam links our character directly to how we treat animals. Whether it's a cat curled up outside your home or a stray dog walking in the street, how you treat them reflects what's inside your heart. Islam doesn't separate spirituality from behavior. Even the way you treat a hungry animal can be an act of worship. Now, let's talk about cats. Cats have a special place in Islamic tradition. They are considered pure animals. You can keep them in the house, feed them, care for them, and even let them walk around freely. There are hadiths where the Prophet Muhammad allowed cats to roam freely in the house and even drink from the same bowl used for wudu. Why? Because they are not seen as impure. And feeding cats? That's a rewarding act. If a hungry cat comes to you and you give it food, that's a form of sadaqah, a charity in the eyes of Allah. It's not about being a cat person or not. It's about being a compassionate human being, one who honors Allah's creation. Now let's come to dogs, probably the most misunderstood animal in Islamic culture. You'll hear some people say dogs are haram or dirty, but that's not the full truth. Islam does not say that dogs themselves are bad or evil. In fact, they are also a creation of Allah with purpose and value. There are hadiths where the Prophet Muhammad permitted the use of dogs for guarding, hunting, and herding livestock. So keeping a dog for these valid purposes is completely allowed in Islam. What Islam discourages is keeping dogs inside the home without a reason, mainly for spiritual cleanliness and the presence of angels. But that doesn't mean we are allowed to hate or harm them. Not at all. Let me share with you one of the most beautiful hadiths that shows Islam's compassion toward animals, especially dogs. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, told us about a man who once saw a thirsty dog licking the ground. The man felt compassion, went down into a well, filled his shoe with water, and gave it to the dog. And guess what? Allah forgave that man all his sins, just for that single act of kindness. That's the weight mercy carries in Islam. This wasn't a scholar or a saint, he was an ordinary man. But because he helped a creature in need, Allah showed him mercy beyond what we can imagine. Islam is all about balance. It doesn't tell you to worship animals, nor does it allow you to harm them. It gives you a middle path. You can love animals, you can care for them, but you also follow the guidelines that Islam gives regarding purity, cleanliness, and spiritual matters. So if you're feeding a cat on the street or gently guiding a dog away without hurting it, you're following the mercy taught by the Prophet Muhammad. And that matters a lot. Let's be honest, we often forget that animals are also part of this world's test. How we treat them, how we speak about them, how we react when we see them suffering, it all adds to our record of deeds. In Islam, everything matters. Even the small act of giving water to a bird, even avoiding stepping on an ant. And so when it comes to cats and dogs, we shouldn't ask, is this allowed? Only. We should ask, what would our beloved Prophet Muhammad do in this situation? Would he feed the cat? Yes. Would he hurt the dog? Never. Would he smile at the sight of a gentle animal? Absolutely. Let's take these examples seriously. Let's become people known not just for praying and fasting, but for our kindness, our mercy, and our respect for every living thing, including the animals, because that's also part of being a good Muslim. If you like the thoughts, subscribe to this channel.